6:07 today marks 10 years since an event that changed the lives of more than 100 people, and it captivated millions of us. On this day in 2009, a flight bound for Charlotte made an emergency landing in the Hudson River in New York. That event now known as the Miracle on the Hudson because every single person on board survived.
It was a sunny Thursday afternoon when US Airways Flight 1549 was cleared for takeoff at New York's LaGuardia Airport. About just 2 minutes into that flight, the plane struck a flock of Canada geese. Passengers on board heard loud bang and saw flames and smoke shooting from the engines. Captain Sullenberger, also known as Sully, and the first officer worked to restart the engine, but after failed attempts, a mayday call. What happened next was unprecedented, as Sullenberger was forced to land the plane into the icy Hudson River.
The images that followed, something Charlotte and the world would never, ever forget. Passengers standing on the wings of the plane, all waiting to be rescued. You see some of them there. Every single person living to tell the tale. NBC Charlotte's Ariel Placencia joining us now live from the Carolina Aviation Museum, where that plane is now. And Ariel, the crew and passengers will be there today. And I can imagine every single time they meet up, it is an emotional event.
Oh, absolutely. Today is a significant anniversary for all those people. You just saw those images, and the plane itself is right here in the museum in Charlotte. And for all those people who were on board that flight exactly 10 years ago today, they're invited here this afternoon for a special remembrance, and they're also invited to other events throughout the city.
It was really the best thing that ever happened to me that day.
We're going to be nuts.
10 years later,
we have one thing in common. That thing has become very important to all of us.
155 people remembering a unique bond between passenger and flight crew on a day marking an emotional anniversary.
And sometimes you don't really have to use a lot of words when you're struggling with something, when you're talking to one of your passengers.
This afternoon, those who were on Flight 1549 will be honored at the convention center during a luncheon. They'll be joined by the mayor and the CEO of American Airlines. Museum staff tells me the Carolinas Aviation Museum is closed to the public today so that passengers, crew members, first responders, and others directly involved with the events of 10 years ago can visit at their convenience.
It made me realize what's important in life, the empathy and more awareness of everything going on in the world. I appreciate everything.
And you may have noticed it on that graphic we just showed you, but I want to point out at 3:31 p.m., the exact moment of that miracle landing, there's going to be a moment of silence right here at the museum. Ben and Carolyn, just imagine what that's going to be like when you have passengers and people who were on board all together here at 3:31. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
I can remember I was a young reporter sent to the airport that day.
You were here.
The idea that a plane went down in New York, never imagined how positive and what an outcome would happen from it.
And the impact it has had on every single person's life who was on that plane is just incredible.
Ariel, thank you.